Welcome to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast, hosted by Craig Phillips and Jeff Torrey. Visit us at fantasyfootballprofit.com. And now your hosts,
Welcome everyone to the Fantasy Football Profit Podcast. I'm Craig Phillips, joined as always by Jeff Torrey. Today we're talking week 11 mailbag. We got some questions for you as we start sits and trades, some good stuff for you to get you ready for week 11. Getting down there, we got 4 more weeks of the fantasy regular season, so we're there. It's crunch time. Got to make the playoffs. This is what you got to do. Get to make the right decisions here. So let's help you out wherever we can here. We're going to start us off with Nightwing. He says, I need 2 receivers with Waddle on bye and Jamar Chase still out. Options: Cortland Sutton, Christian Watson, Tyler Boyd, Kadarius Toney. Who are you going with?
Actually, I can't believe I'm about to say this, but I actually think I ride the hot hands a little bit, and I would go.
Watson and Toney.
Tony and Watson. Yeah, I would.
Take the chance, take the upside. Just especially if your team, the rest of your team's more solid, you could definitely. Sutton's the one, right, where it's like you feel like you probably should slot him in, but man, if you want to go big upside risk,
yeah, I would rather take the 2 other guys and take the risk of like the upside risk, if you will, the upside of the touchdowns or whatever, which I think that are more inclined to go towards Watson. I realize he just had 3, maybe that won't happen, but I do think that he's going to get extra looks if he can get that going. Great. But
this is an interesting one because I think clearly the ranks will show Sutton and Boyd. I think that's what the ranks will show. So I think this could go, I'm going to answer this a bunch of ways, right? This can be like, okay, it really can be. If you just want to be safe, just safe, you go Sutton and Boyd, right? Just don't think about it. It's Sutton and Boyd if you want to be safe. If you feel like you need to be safe. If you want the highest possible upside, it's Watson and Toney. It's Watson and Toney. If you want to go for a little medium, I'll put some risk in there with some safe. I think you go Sutton and Watson.
Yeah.
I think if you want to mix it up a little bit, I think I would I would rank them if you're going this way. Sutton is ahead of Boyd. It's probably Sutton. If I'm just ranking like I would rank on Fantasy Pros, it's probably Sutton, Boyd, Watson, Toney. Probably if you're trying to be realistic, right? But
sure, but
upside, Watson and Toney have all the upside. Boyd and Sutton, they're just a big game for them is going to be not huge. It's going to be safe, but it's not going to be what Watson and Toney can do.
Right. And Toney would be he's probably the biggest wild card. Mm-hmm. You don't know what he's really going to do on that team. They can go away from him if they really want to, but I do think Watson would be someone I would slot in there. Like you said, if you wanted to go safe for it, I have no issue with that. What you pick, either Sutton or Boyd, whoever you believe in more, because Chase is out. I'd probably still lean Sutton, but I would probably put Watson in there no matter what, because I'd much rather have the big upside. But to your point, I don't think any of them are that far apart in the rankings to make it where there's a slam dunk decision. I would rather go for high upside if you have to do it anyway.
All right, Brother Coffee Bean, he says, what's with Kamara with the addition today of David Johnson, which is kind of crazy. David Johnson signs up to the Saints practice squad. I wouldn't be worried about David Johnson.
No, we've seen this one play.
No, don't be worried about David Johnson. Kamara had a bad game last week. I'm not loving the Saints offense, but he had a great game just a couple weeks ago. It's there. It's still there. He says, I lost Khalil Herbert, which is, he's on the IR now. So that's disappointing. So he's thinner at running back. He says some of his trade options he could go after would be Derrick Henry, Jonathan Taylor, Joe Mixon, James Conner. He says he's open to trading whoever. Right now he has Travis Etienne, Zeke, Kamara, obviously, and Drake. Is it time to part ways with Kamara? I don't know if you can get it's Henry, Taylor. You don't want James Conner. Sorry, he gets touchdowns.
I would love to get Henry, but you're gonna have to give up way too much.
Yeah, and Jonathan Taylor, the problem is Jonathan Taylor just had his best game. You're not getting him. Joe Mixon had his best game, 5 touchdowns. The problem is I don't think you have enough with what you have there, and enough would be like ETN and Kamara for something. I just don't want to do that.
Yeah, or maybe they've lost faith, right? Someone that got Henry picked very high or whatever.
Henry's the only one.
Same thing with James Taylor. Maybe these teams are out of it and they can get it for something else. If that's the case, then and you have keepers or someone you can, something where they would take that. yeah, go for it, please. Like that would be great. And if you're upgrading from, you don't believe in Kamara anymore, and you're upgrading with Henry or Mixon or one of those other guys, I don't hate that, because at some point you probably, if the Saints aren't that good, if he's a little banged up, you'd be upgrading. But if you could, trade something on top of that, so you have Kamara, ETN, and then, Henry or another guy, pretty much no matter what you could give up. If it's not going to come out of your starting lineup, then yeah, you go for that. But I don't know. I have a hard time believing you can pull that trigger. How do you feel about just staying pat with ETN, Kamara, and then having Zeke as your number 3?
I think you just do it. I think that's what you got to do. I think that with this situation, I don't know how much Zeke's going to play when he comes back, what the workload's going to be like, but yeah, I think you have to. Yeah, I think you just stick with that. Yeah,
I can't imagine not giving up too much for one of those guys. I mean,
yeah,
if it's in the cards, pull the trigger. Good for you.
It's going to make your team more thin to do that. Yeah. It's going to. All right, Heat are sick ass. Who would you start this week? Jared Goff or Marcus Mariota? Goff is playing at the Giants. Mariota's at home against the Bears.
I actually kind of like Mariota today. This week, I should say.
I get the matchup thing. You're probably right.
I mean, it's very, very close. Like
it is.
Goff just hasn't put up big numbers in a while.
No.
So I'm just going to go for the Mariota. Like, hey, Chicago's been giving up a lot of points.
They have. And the Giants have been pretty solid on D. You're probably right. Probably Mariota, but very, very slightly.
Yeah, by a little bit.
Yep. All right.
I don't feel good about either.
Just Do It says, this is a trade. Would you do this trade? Would you give up Diggs, Antonio Gibson, and Jalen Waddle to get CeeDee Lamb, Travis Etienne, and Chris Olave?
Let me think about this. Say that one more time. A lot of moving parts there.
Let's first I'll go off. There's two receivers, 2 running backs, right? Yep. Or 2 receivers, 1 running back. So the receivers, you'd be trading Diggs and Waddle, and then you have Gibson. So Diggs, Waddle, Gibson. Gibson. You'd get a CeeDee Lamb, Olave, Etienne. So it's a running back upgrade.
Yeah, the Etienne is the only thing that makes me pause, because I'm like, I think that's a pretty significant one.
Diggs, okay, so Diggs is better
Diggs
than
and
Lamb,
Waddle.
Right?
I'll say like Diggs and Waddle. I kind of like both of them more than like Lamb. Lamb is up there. He's like a Waddle.
But Olave, as much as I like Olave, I love Olave I love
the same
potential.
caliber this year. Yeah, exactly.
I think it's just slightly too much. I mean, it's tough though. It depends too on what the rest of your receivers are like, to be honest with you. If you have another receiver that's going along with Diggs and Waddle, maybe. But maybe, because then maybe Etienne's a big upgrade for you at running back.
Yeah, that would be my biggest question. I mean, I love Etienne. I think as far as going out and getting someone who can really play the running back position in fantasy, you're not going to find too much better than him. Like, it's hard to go out there and get a top 15 guy. So I don't hate the trade. Like, I don't think it's very unfair.
I don't think it's bad. I think I just slightly like Diggs side.
Yeah. It's tough to say. The Olave one, I love him, but he's not the same tier as the other guys. So you're taking a hit there.
Yep. All right. Kasparowski says, thoughts on Darius Slayton and Damian Harris. Picked them both up and just wondering how you guys feel about them. So I don't know, the Slayton thing, he's done this all the time, right? Where he has some good games, some bad games.
Yeah.
I just don't think I can trust any Giants receiver. That's a problem. This week, though, I will say this week against the Lions, not a bad play. Especially a bye week. You could throw Slayton in there. This is a good week for him. I could see him having some good numbers against the Lions. And he has, what was it? I'm pulling up his numbers from last year. 3 catches, but it was a big touchdown, right? That's why his number is 3 for 95 and a touchdown. It's just, he's not, after this week with the Lions, I just wouldn't trust him, at all. I'm just not going to. And then, so Damian Harris, once Damian Harris is back, I think he's going to get some, he'll get some play. He'll play.
Oh, yeah.
The problem is, it's not going to be like what it was last year. And we'll see. He could be back this week, I believe, against the Jets. Be interesting to see if he's truly healthy out there. Like, he's been not playing as much, even when he came back, right? It just wasn't the same. If he's truly healthy now, and will he get the full workload? We'll see.
Yeah,
So.
I agree with you on Slayton. I think it's a very good play this week. After that, I don't trust him. Damian Harris, I love to pick up, right? Because there's
Worth
a
a
lot of
shot.
upside there. Well, yeah, why not? And find out what you have there. Like maybe not this week is a risky play, but other than that, he's going to get opportunities, and I have no idea. They are going to be a run first type of team, so that's a great pick.
Sabelkansky. Yes. Would you trade Stephon Diggs to get Christian McCaffrey?
Yeah.
I think it depends though. What you're
okay, sure, but in a vacuum, I would say
yes.
yes.
I think it's the right deal. The only worry is it was McCaffrey's workload this past week. That's the big worry.
Yeah, I mean Elijah Mitchell came back and immediately got a ton of carries. So I mean, yeah, but I don't know. Overall, yeah. I mean, Diggs is great, but I think it's a fair trade, and you're getting a really high-end wide receiver, or running back for a wide receiver.
Yeah, I think you do it. And this
overall,
is maybe
yes, I do it.
I think you do it, and you do it this week because you're like, oh, okay, you're getting not like undervalued. Diggs is a great player to give up, but McCaffrey had a down week, and that's how you're going to get him. A down week, he still got a touchdown.
He still got a touchdown. If next week Elijah Mitchell goes down to like 9 carries or something, and McCaffrey goes off, you don't get that trade anymore. So
yeah, exactly. You have to, I think you have to do that deal. Ooh, okay, yeah. There's another one. Nick asks, he says, "Do I trade Christian McCaffrey for Travis Kelce?" No, you don't do that. No. He lost Ertz and he needs a tight end, but no, don't do that.
That's too much. I get that Kelce is a very high end tight end, but I think that's the wrong play. You're giving up way too much for him.
All right. Sean says he needs a receiver. Now he's down Cup, who went on IR. He's having surgery on his ankle. Waddle's on a bye, and Mike Williams we don't know his status. He could be
supposedly
back, right?
coming back this week, but we don't know.
Yep. He says, so out of these other players, there's 2 available. Who do you like best for the rest of the season? Rondale Moore, Garrett Wilson. It's Wilson for me. I like Moore though, what he's been doing. I like Rondale. Well, I like Garrett Wilson.
I will only agree. I really like what Rondale Moore is doing. The only reason I'm going to agree with you is because Hollywood Brown is coming off IR.
I mean, Garrett Wilson's at 8 for 92 and 6 for 115 the last 2 weeks, so he's been pretty good.
Yes, he's been good. I have a hard time believing
Moore's going to be the third.
Yeah. I was going to say
Moore's at 9 for 94, 8 for 69, 7 for 92. He's been good too.
Yeah,
they've been both. Good. They're both good. And actually, their season long numbers are close. So like catches wise, Garrett Wilson has 1 more catch. He has about 100 more yards. He has 1 more touchdown. That's it. So they've been relatively close. But yeah, you're right. Hollywood Brown should be back. Could be back this week, possibly. If he's not back this week, he'll be back next week, right?
Exactly. I think he'll be trying to practice with him, so we'll see. But I would agree with you. Wilson is the way to go.
Yep, I'm going to go with Wilson. Let's see here. Donovan says, would you trade Olave and Swift for? He doesn't say which more, so that's a problem. For Olave and Swift for Ramondre Stevenson and more. So is it DJ? Is it Rondale? Doesn't tell us. I don't think it matters. I think I'd almost rather have Rondale at this point. Not really, but they're close. They're very close. Because Rondale.
Rondale or DJ. You're talking about.
Honestly, it doesn't really matter. They're very, very close. But Swift, man, he's frustrated. He's not playing. This is a tough one. This is a tough decision.
I think I would stick with what you got, to be honest. I'd whatever more it is, I don't trust it. And let's be honest, Stevenson with Damian Harris coming back, I don't know what that's going to turn into either. I would almost rather have Swift, even though it is annoying.
I think you're right.
Not that it's a huge shift, but I think I would go for a little more of the upside. Swift, when he is healthy, he's so good. I don't know. The problem is, it could turn into that no matter what. So
it's tough. Like I love Olave's talent. He just hasn't been doing much these last few weeks.
Well, if they're shutting down Kamara too, it might open up some more opportunities for him, and hopefully maybe Jameis will come back or something.
This one, it's just tough because of Swift and not knowing if that workload going to be there. When is it coming back? Right. That's where the hiccup becomes in this. It should be an easy, I want Swift and Olave, right? This shouldn't be a question.
It should be, but I'll be honest. Like a couple weeks ago, I think it would have been the opposite. I think the way Stevenson was playing, and you don't know with the injuries and all that, like that, it did shift very quickly.
All right, would you do this trade? Watson, so Deshaun Watson. What if I'm missing another Watson? Fournette. Christian Watson. Could be Christian Watson. There we go. Yeah, let's say Christian Watson probably is. I'm like, what Watson? Oh, yeah, we just had a Watson breakout finally. So Christian Watson, I'm going to guess. Fournette and Rashad White for Derrick Henry. I'd take Henry.
No, Henry. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Are you trading those for Henry? Yeah. Without a doubt.
Yeah, take Henry.
Get rid of the headache of when Fournette comes back.
If this is a keeper league, let's say this is a keeper league. I'll put in those contexts. The person with Derrick Henry, let's say they're out of it, right? And this is a keeper league. That's an awesome trade for both parties. That could be like a perfect.
You get Christian Watson.
That could be a perfect keeper league trade. Like for a contending team, let's trade away these potential assets. Let's get a guy for now in the team that's not contending. Let's trade away our aging guy and get these new guys. That would be a perfect. It might not be that, but I'll just say it is. Let's say this is the perfect keeper league trade. I love it then.
Yeah.
Either way, I think it's because otherwise, if you're contending and you have Derrick Henry, you're not going to trade him for those guys. I don't think.
I wouldn't think so. You'd have to be in real dire straits. Like you're kind of like, I guarantee to get a running back, and obviously he's probably like me. Like you love Christian Watson, maybe. I don't know, but
I'm still kicking myself for not picking up Christian Watson in like our leagues. I debate. Like I made a joke in our group chat we have like 2 weeks ago. I'm like, we need more roster spots. I need like 2 more roster spots. And I did, because I wanted to add Christian Watson was one of the guys I wanted to add, and actually wanted to add Treylon Burks too, because I'm looking for next year. I'm trying to build up possible keepers, right? And I just didn't have those spots. So I was joking. I want these guys. But Christian Watson really hadn't done anything. The guy had been dropping balls. He dropped 2 balls, I think, Sunday early.
I mean,
he still did. Like,
still wasn't pretty, but it was finally
so I didn't do it. I didn't pick him up. I left him out there, and then he's going to go for big money in our free agent auction doesn't hit till Thursday, so he's going to go for good money with people who have. Chad, how much do you have left? You should have a lot. Go big.
I have quite a bit.
Good. I have $11. So
I was gonna say I will beat you.
I have $11. So just spend it all, man. Spend it all. It doesn't matter at this point. Spend it. Go get him. Yeah, I'm kicking myself because I was just building up potential keepers, and he was right there. He's on my list, and hey, win some, you lose some.
Yeah, it becomes hard with buys and injuries and all of that. You try your best to keep.
Would I have kept him anyway?
Players, but
I got Garrett Wilson. I got Kadarius. I love Kadarius Toney. He'll be my guy. All right. That's it though. That's it for the mailbag.
Cool.
So there we go. Heading into week 11. Hopefully you guys are in the playoff hunt. Trying to not avoid last place punishment like I am in one of our leagues. But I blew up the team.
I was gonna say that's always the best when you blow it up and then you're like, how can I figure out how to keep winning a little bit? And then we have Scott Fishbowl. We're 8-2.
We're doing well there.
Hopefully we don't hit the skids here, but we also have Christian Watson, Jameson Williams. So we have like some young guys that are starting to hit too, which will be a lot of fun. And I think I just set our lineup or whatever, and we're like starting 5 running backs. It's actually really crazy. So it'll be fun to see how it turns out.
We built a solid team. I like it.
Yeah, we have a lot of guys, and Tony. I forgot we had Tony too. So we have a handful of guys that are really hitting at the moment. And we're already good,
don't we?
Yeah.
What's our quarterback situation? I always forget.
Well, that some bias going on there. We're waiting for Deshaun Watson to come back.
Right.
Hopefully it's better, but
get us for the playoff run.
Yeah.
All right, that'll do it for week 11. Wait. Here we go. 1 second. I want to see this.
More?
So, I sent a quick message to the guy who was talking about trading Diggs for CMC earlier.
Oh yeah.
So he gave us the rest of the team. Let's just see if our minds changed at all, right?
Okay.
All right. Before we sign off, so you trade Diggs for Christian McCaffrey, right? I wanted to see if doesn't it make sense, right? Is he, let's see what his team's like. See if it changes their mind. His quarterback situation is Aaron Rodgers. Okay, it's whatever, right? This is a 16-man league too. 16. Okay. 16 teams. His wide receiver situation is Diggs and Justin Jefferson. And so you get 2 receivers. You actually have 2 flex as well. So he has Jefferson Diggs, Boyd, and Olave. So he has some other receivers. Yeah. His running back situation is Jamal Williams and Najee Harris. Yeah, you do that trade all day.
Yeah, you do that trade all day.
Not even now. It's for sure.
And that's great too because Diggs is wonderful, but you don't have to give up Jefferson.
Yep.
Right.
Now, knowing the rest of that team, it's a no-brainer to me. You're sitting with Jamal Williams and Najee. That's rough. And you can just slot in, another. You have Boyd and Olave, which are really good in 16 teams too. Yeah, and you still have Jefferson at the top there. I feel good about that.
Yeah, and that many teams too. Aaron Rodgers is fine. Didn't it say what tight end he had? Just out of curiosity.
His tight end's Tyler Conklin, so it's whatever. But 16 teams, yeah. But no, I think you go do that. I think you go get McCaffrey.
Yep. So. Yeah, it's a good trade.
All right, there we go. That'll do it. Talk to you guys next time.